Hi, Steve Parker here. Everyone else is doing it, speaking to camera, that is. So I thought I'd share a few thoughts as well at this time. We're in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic, although we may not even be in the middle of it. This might run for quite a long time yet. We've been in lockdown for a month, and there's no real sign of anything changing in the near future. And it's a massive challenge for everyone. But it doesn't affect everyone equally. I can think of at least 9 groups of people right now. First, people who actually have the virus, many of them fighting for their lives in hospitals, literally fighting for every breath against this horrible disease. Secondly, their families and friends, anxiously waiting to see if they pull through or not, hoping for the best but fearing the worst. Third, the NHS staff and other frontline workers risking their lives every day, showing selfless dedication and courage. Fourth, other essential workers keeping the country going, making sure we're fed, providing transport and other vital services. 5, people in isolation, those who are actually on their own during this time. Now, despite the wonders of modern technology like Zoom and Skype, nothing can replace that physical presence. 6, people forced to stay at home who have no income. The economic cost to this is going to be massive. 7, people who are able to work from home, whilst other members of the household enjoy an enforced holiday. 8, people at home with their families, but in a very small space, without a garden. This presents all kinds of challenges. And 9, people at home with plenty of space and a garden. For some people, being forced to stay at home is a prison. For others, it's a holiday at home. So everyone's experience of this is different, but everyone faces their own set of challenges. Even those who are at home in relative comfort still have to deal with the challenge of not being able to cultivate personal space, not being able to escape into their work or their sport or their recreational hobbies or down to the pub. The whole situation has made life very unbalanced. There's a disturbance in the force, as Yoda might say. All of life has been altered, and that presents a real challenge to mental health. So our perspective is vital at this time. And I want to say that we need to see this situation as both a challenge and an opportunity. It's certainly a challenge because many of our struggles are now intensified. If you have a short temper, this lockdown will be a severe test. If you're easily bored, you'll find it immensely difficult. And if you're prone to anxiety, your worry levels will be sky high. So what's the answer? Well, for Christians, I think the fruit of the Spirit is needed more than at any other time. We read about it in Galatians chapter 5, where the Apostle Paul writes firstly about the sinful nature, and he says the acts of the sinful nature are obvious: sexual immorality, impurity and debauchery, idolatry and witchcraft, hatred, discord, jealousy, fits of rage, selfish ambition, dissensions, factions and envy, drunkenness, orgies and the like. I warn you, as I did before, that those who live like this will not inherit the kingdom of God. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. The fruit of the Spirit. Let's just think about those 9 fruits just for a minute, because we need them more than ever right now. The first one is love. And the coronavirus crisis presents us with an opportunity to show love to our families and to our neighbours, because love isn't a feeling, love is a verb in the New Testament. It's a call to Christ-like compassion. Secondly, joy. Joy is not the same as happiness. Joy is a fruit of salvation. It's not dependent on our circumstances. We can be joyful even in testing times. Third, peace. Peace is the absence of anxiety. And yes, it's a work of the Spirit in our hearts. God gives us that peace, but it also comes when we do something, when we turn to God in prayer in an attitude of thanksgiving. Fourth, patience or forbearance. There's a great need for that at this time because we all feel as though we're living in a pressure cooker. We need to be patient with one another. Fifth, kindness. What an opportunity we have to show kindness to one another. Six, goodness. There's a lot of goodness being shown at the moment. Every situation presents us with a choice to do good or to do evil. We still live in a moral framework. Seven, faithfulness. This is about doing good over the long haul. We need to keep on and persevere through this time. 8, gentleness. What a powerful witness this can be. As others start to crack, we need to show the gentleness of Christ, the one who said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." We need to be gentle with each other as we experience this collective trauma. And then finally, self-control. Many of the things that characterize the sinful nature are remedied by spirit-directed self-control. And with the negative list including things like anger and rage, lust and drunkenness. And the battle within our hearts has only intensified. So we need the self-control that comes from the Spirit. So let's face these challenges with a renewed effort to cultivate the fruit of the Spirit. Let's reflect on them. Let's consciously crucify the flesh, turn away from the acts of the sinful nature, make a positive, conscious decision to keep in step with the Spirit and to work these qualities into our lives with God's help. But let's also look on this time as an opportunity as well as a challenge. God has given some of us the gift of time. Let's not waste it. Remember back just a few weeks, you probably said things like, "Oh, if only I had more time with my husband or wife, more time with the kids. I'm just too busy at work. I'm always tired. When will I have time to do all those house chores, those garden repairs? When can I watch a bit of TV? When can I read those books gathering dust on the shelf?" Well, now we have time, lots of time. But even this time will pass. We won't be in this situation forever. Normal life will return, by which I mean the normal rhythms of life. So we need to make the most of this. Let's see it as a month of Saturdays. Tick off those chores, be productive. See it as a gift. And finally, it's a time to reflect. It's a challenge, but it's also an opportunity. It's an opportunity to reflect. It's easy to let our minds go into free fall and spend all the time worrying. But maybe God has allowed this so that we might reflect on what is really important. Questions like, where do I find meaning and significance and identity? Where is my hope? And where is God in all this? What might he be saying to us right now? And that's what I want to address in my next little talk. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching.